our favorite guest, Andy Pace. Andy Pace is, of course, a professional drummer and a musician for over 30 years. Andy has performed with C&C Music Factory, Gary U.S. Bonds, Taylor Dane. I mean, the list goes on and on. On top of that, he also owns a great organization up in the Northeast called Little Creek Lodge. And we're going to bring him on the phone, and we're going to talk to him about the Love of Recovery Music Fest coming up. Andy, welcome to the show.
Hey, John, good to speak with you.
It's always a pleasure, man. And just a little, so everybody knows, Andy's been playing at some of the festivals. He did the February Festival here in Florida, and he did the one in August last year up in Maine. And it's been fun, man. We've been having a good time. Hey, listen, I wanted to thank you and Barbara, your wife, and Little Creek Lodge for sponsoring the upcoming event in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania for the Love of Recovery Music Fest, September 9th. That'll be held at Kirby Park in Wilkes-Barre. And I want to thank you guys and Little Creek Lodge for supporting that and also coming to play at it.
Absolutely, John. We believe in you, and we believe in the cause. It's a great thing that you're doing for the community and all the guys in recovery.
Well, you know something, it doesn't work without guys like you, Andy. And, you know, when we all come together and we're able to put it out there and be able to build the city, hopefully they come. So what is the whole process of music in recovery to you? What does that mean to you?
To me, it was a great shock when I came into recovery, being in the music industry, and that being my passion. And I tried to incorporate some of that experience with our treatment center and how we teach guys to continue to play music and see and feel music through recovery. I'm a firm believer that 98% of all learning comes from experience. So we have a little studio in our building, and we try to create an experience for the guys to play music without being high and be creative and intuitive and feel that rhythm without the use of a drug. And in the beginning, it's very foreign. So it takes a little time, a little coaching, and once they get into a groove and we have a nice jam, you know, the smile comes on this guy's face, and he's like, okay, this is what you're talking about. So it transcends everything, John.
Do you feel that it definitely helps as far as the writing aspect of it? Because I was just interviewing Mitz, and, you know, the whole writing aspect of it, helping people to, and other people I've spoken to, musicians, helping people to really resolve some issues and getting them out on paper, and then to turn them into music is just a bonus, but it really is therapeutic. Do you believe?
I do, and I agree with you 100%. I think the worldview of a person changes once they become spiritually grounded and hopeful again. I had a young man for probably about 6 months in treatment one time, and he, through drug addiction, he became so depressed that all of his music and writings were very dark. The music was all in minor keys and very, very dark, and the lyrics were even worse. There wasn't much hope or light in any of it. And as a person goes through the process of recovery, their worldview changes. And like you said, the writing of something, the lyrics that will come out, the topics that will be talked about are much, much different when that perspective changes. And it's just, you could see the night and day difference. It's absolutely terrific.
I got a question as far as, you know, you mentioned it, you brought it up, and it's like a real-time topic right now, depression. And depression is definitely real. There's no doubt about it. And when you look at, like, the Chris Cornell death that happened last week, what are your whole feelings on that? Because, I mean, that's a whole ball of wax. I mean, here's a guy that, you know, had, you know, pretty much everything, and depression really was profound in his life.
It sure was, and may Chris rest in peace. He was certainly a massive talent in our industry, and his music will live on. But the funny thing about depression is we don't recognize it all the time in the individual. I would say they're masters at hiding it or masking it, let's say. from Chris to Robin Williams to so many people, well, gee, I didn't know he was feeling like that, or this came to as a complete shock to us. But depression is real, like you said, and if there's not ongoing inventory by the patient or the people around him or her, very difficult to detect this. I have patients all the time that once they start feeling better, they don't take their depression meds anymore because they're fine, and then they crash big time. And, the worst thing that could happen is you become completely hopeless, and then suicide becomes an option. So I think it has to be recognized and talked about. Very difficult to read into someone, though, that's masking it.
Is in your opinion, you've been around a long time, how long have you been clean personally? And then you went on for further education. How long have you been around? 29
years. I'm in recovery. I want to say at 44 years old, I went back to college and got a degree in human services and counseling.
And at that point, did you, when you think about it, we've already discussed the music aspect of it. Did you see it as something that you were going to use in a vision, like further on down the road, to help somebody like Chris or to help somebody that you've helped process, like the gentleman you were talking about?
I think I did, but some of the problems along the way, what I see in the industry itself with counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, is that when there's a person with a high profile, whether it's an entertainer, a musician, an actor, or so on, a lot of people are afraid to confront them on the level that they should. They sometimes tiptoe around a person like that. And that's, to me, the worst thing you could do. There's too many yes men around high-profile people, and they are afraid to take their inventory and tell them really where they're at and how they see them. Because, A, they're going to lose their job and be banished from the kingdom. This is time and time again. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Prince, you name it, right on down the line. It's an ongoing thing, and they're in too much fear.
Where do you think the help comes in? Early intervention, of course, and all of that, but you really just got to kind of man up and just tell them how you feel, right?
You do, and I've attended a few seminars lately on the care and treatment of professionals in the music industry. And some of it I disagreed with greatly because the professionals are still allowing the music to come first rather than the patient because of record industry deadlines and contracts and money and jobs and tours and things like that. This guy's going to die. And you're just trying to put a Band-Aid on a gushing,
bullet.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, especially with the music industry, and I think that in a lot of ways, I listen to your story in the past. I've heard your story in the past, and people like yourself that have been in the music business, and they took time off. It was, some people I know that took 6 months off, 8 months. I think you took a year off. And it was about putting their recovery first, and then all the rest of the stuff fell in place if it was supposed to.
Yeah, some people aren't willing to do that. That's why, Little Creek has been open for 10 years, and we don't get musicians or people in the entertainment industry going into long-term treatment often because they won't give that kind of time to themselves. We're artists, and we've got to be out there doing our craft and so forth. So it's a very dangerous game.
The healing process, and I watch guys like yourself and many other people that have come through Rockers in Recovery and been around Rockers in Recovery, part of it. It's like a healing process at the very beginning, and the music helps heal and helps do all of that stuff. But the stress of deadlines and the stress of going out on the road and going out and touring definitely can take its toll on early recovery.
Absolutely. It's better now than it ever was out there. Years and years ago, we didn't have the support systems that are in place now. So, it's really, really come a long way as far as, whatever city you're in or country you're in, you've got sober supports. They're out there.
Right.
And you have to
Correct.
plan ahead, seek them out, and they'll help you.
When you opened Little Creek Lodge 10 years ago, a decade ago, and it's really evolved. I mean, you started out with a few beds. Where are you at now?
We just added a new building. February, we opened a new building called Shane's House, and this is a step down from inpatient treatment. It's 12 more beds. That's a whole new component, plus an outpatient and a clubhouse. We have a clubhouse on our adjoining property. We have 11 meetings a week there, and it's strictly dedicated to people in recovery. We do open mic nights. Just about twice a day there's a meeting there of a different kind. So it's fantastic. We've got 16 beds in the lodge, 12 beds in the sober house, a clubhouse, and a brand new outpatient. So you're right, John. It evolved when it came to be. Yeah.
Little Creek Foundation. Give us a little bit of information about the foundation.
Little Creek Foundation is a nonprofit foundation, and that's dedicated to help people in need. There might be a family who can't afford treatment and, would be a perfect fit for somebody here. We will fund that person. There might be a young person who is leaving Little Creek and can't afford to transition out into a sober house or get an apartment. We will fund that person. We will pay the first month's rent and security and buy food for that person and help them get on their feet when they're leaving. It's for anyone who needs help in our area or community. When we were down at Rockers in Recovery, this past year, we met a woman who, well, you know what? I mean, for me, my wife is not in recovery, but for me, I spent 25 years in addiction, and I took from everything and everybody. And, part of my thing after waking up and realizing, what life is, was to give back. Yeah. And that's our mission, our ongoing mission. It'll always be our ongoing mission is to give back.
Andy, you're a great dude, and we thank you for everything that you do for the recovery community. How do you see the music aspect happening with, we got some great bands, coming up. You want to talk about some of the bands you know that are playing? Yeah, for the festival. Yeah. I
think it's going to be a really exceptionally rocking good time. You have a diverse afternoon of music, You're bringing your guys up from Nashville, right? The Chillbillies.
Yep.
We got Mike Miz with his genre of music. You got the Stickies, who are essentially a punk band, and who else is coming up?
Muddy Shoes.
Muddy Shoes. Up. So it's an afternoon that is just sprinkled and peppered with different kinds of music. Anybody from any genre of music will appreciate it. All good players, experienced players. It's just going to be an incredible afternoon.
This is going to be cool. We're looking forward to it, and I'm actually going to be up there in a couple of weeks doing a walkthrough at the location. So look forward to hooking up with you when I get up there, and
Absolutely.
Me, you, and Barbara go out to dinner and hang out a little bit and talk about the show.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it, John. I'm very psyched.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, in closing, anything that you want to say that you feel might help somebody?
Well, follow your dream, whatever that might be, and don't hurt anybody. Support Rockers in Recovery and support people in recovery. I think the stereotype is kind of fading away from what it used to be. Don't be afraid of success because it's waiting for you.
Beautiful stuff. Andy Pace, Little Creek Lodge. And you can reach Little Creek Lodge at 877-689-2644. Again, that number is 877-689-2644. And on the web, littlecreekrecovery.com and .org, correct?
Yes. It's littlecreekrecovery.org. We dropped the .com.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay,
fantastic, cool. John. Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, we appreciate it, and you have a blessed day. We'll talk soon.
Will do. Thank you. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, Love of Recovery Music Festival, September 9th, 2017, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're looking forward to everybody coming out and hanging out with us. It's going to be up at Kirby Park, and Kirby Park, of course, is in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. There's going to be a lot of great guests there, some good speakers, and most importantly, what we're here to be able to do is carry a message of hope, and we do that through music, educational information, festivals. We do it through all kinds of stuff. You can check out more information at rockersinrecovery.com. Click on the About page. God bless. Have a great day. And let's listen to Dope Sick Blues one more time.
It's 5 a.m. and the sun will be rising soon. There ain't a damn thing I can do. It's cold outside and I feel like I'm ready for the spring, or just to hear the morning sing. This morning with my sheets all drenched in sweat, just trying to get used to living endlessly in debt. I spent the last few years just digging my own grave, yeah, and suffering like a slave, and suffering like a take it out, nice and easy. 'Cause somebody told me once, you'll never leave me. Well, ooh, baby, won't you take it out, nice and slow? 'Cause I got nowhere else to fun's gone too. But here I am, still running on back to you. Well, I'm so tired of having these dope sick blues. How do I untie this noose? How do I untie it? Oh, baby, won't you take me down, nice and easy? Somebody told me once you'd never leave me. Oh, baby, won't you take me down, nice and slow? 'Cause I got nowhere else to. I got nowhere else to go.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.